Take me back to the day when things were simple. Riding bikes to the sunset, feeling that warm tingle. No screens to distract us, just the sound of laughter. Making forts in the backyard, chasing after what came after. Oh, the good old days when we play outside. No Wi-Fi, no worries, just a wild ride. Trading baseball cards, listen to the radio. Life was an adventure, don't you know?
Welcome to Offline Daze. This is episode, what episode is it, Coley?
I think we're on episode 7.
That's amazing. Never thought I'd make it this far. But appreciate, you joining again and sticking with this, Coley. And today we have a special guest, Matthew Covington. I actually got to know Matt about 10 years ago. We met at a bathhouse. No, that was another Turkish bathhouse. Turkish bath. We worked at the same technology company in Seattle. So I was coming from North Carolina. They opened up an office out there, and Matt was one of the local tweakers that they hired.
So glad to have you, Matt.
Colby, just to give you a sense of how technology forward this organization was, our first 2 weeks were in the basement of this building, and we were selling software via hotspots. We had to connect to Eric P's hotspot, and then we moved up. We got like the 24th floor after that. But yeah, we don't think there weren't red flags going off in everyone's head. But you got to walk by the cargo dock to get to your office. That's
it's a Fortune 500 company now, huh?
Yeah, they were publicly traded. I'll say that.
They were fortunate. They were fortunate to have 500 people working for them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the basement days, but it was kind of an exciting time because, you had a lot of these new people like myself from North Carolina, kind of guys, y'all had been in Seattle for a while. So not really a big brother looking over us that hard. So we were just kind of partying.
From corporate. He was our shill.
Right. So we were partying, having a good time, going out to all the bars. And where did I live? I lived in Capitol Hill, and I remember a special one up there, the Unicorn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And I was, I think I was living in West Seattle at the time, and I forget where our third Joe was. He wasn't Green Lake, was he? No, he was White Center for a while.
Oh yeah.
Not ironically named. Cool. Not a lot of whiteness in White Center.
No, that's certainly correct there. But it was a good time. And Matt, you've done some stand-up comedy too, right? So tell us where we can't find you now.
Well, I'm on a playground tour. Like Cooley, I have an 8-year-old kid, and so that's where the focus went. And then I decided to go house rich, money poor, as a lot of single dads do. So my touring is I'll be at a McDonald's playground this Saturday, Sunday. I'm doing 2 shows in Silverdale. My opening is Grimace.
I heard that ball pit. Yeah, right. I heard that ball pit can be wild.
It can be. And then I don't know if you're like this, Coley, but our kids are a little bit softer than definitely when I was growing up. But there's a lot of kids that I don't think the world's ready for. I'm just like, you guys are too soft. You guys are. They cry over everything. And I'm like, I don't know if the military's for you, son. Maybe Boy Scout might be.
I don't even know if Boy Scouts is.
Start them out in Girl Scouts just to kind of
bring home the cookies.
Oh,
that is my favorite part of it.
Yeah. And I don't mind it. My kid's softer than I was. But my dad was. He didn't write any books on parenting. He got the book thrown at him from a judge, for sure, but there was no how to. And I don't know. Cooley, you've been in that situation. Were you in the room when your wife was in labor, or girlfriend, or your partner?
Oh yeah. Well, my ex-wife had a C-section, and so that was interesting. Yeah. So just take it all out. And
we're in Seattle, similar to Denver. It's like I got to get my chakras aligned before I go into labor, and I got to have a seance to Mother Earth. It's a bunch of hippies. And then,
did you do the skin to skin thing? That was like a huge thing out here. That was like, you need to make sure your baby's on your skin, and I'm like, no, I don't want to take my shirt off.
I call that tummy sticks. But anyway, go ahead.
We were cauterized by our crowd because when we did parenting classes, which doesn't prepare you for anything, and they were like, "Who here is going to use drugs during labor?" And it's just me and my partner. And like 40 other people were like aghast. And then we all went into labor like the same day. And so I saw two of them at the ice machine, and they're like, "Get the drugs, get the drugs." And it was bloody murder on that floor. Like, there's a reason why they make drugs, ladies.
Right?
Yeah. Like, knock it out.
Yeah,
so what would you say?
I don't want to feel anything.
Yeah. Are we done? Like, yeah.
So what was the? So what would you say, like, the parenting, like, as you remember as a kid, Matt? Like, what's
I was raised in Texas.
Okay. You like my shirt? ZZ Top, baby.
Woo. Yeah. If it rattles, leave it alone. Other than that, I mean, they didn't tell you not to pee on the fence. You had to learn those lessons the hard way. It was a lot of trial and error. Like, I feel like maybe my generation broke a lot more bones before junior high, and this generation's much more coddled for sure. My son, I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm not. I mean, it's not like I wake up and I throw him in a cage with a Wolverine and get breakfast. I mean,
am I not supposed to do that as a parent?
Yeah.
Are we not supposed to do cage fighting with our kids?
Speaking of that, this episode was brought to you by Preemie Fight Club. It's the premier fight club for children under 5.
Right.
Got so many ideas for podcasts.
Yeah. Like, here's our reigning champ, the Rock's kid.
Yeah. Do you think we could do? I know in India they do arranged marriages, but since y'all's kids are the same age, I mean, is that something y'all would consider?
Believe it or not, statistically speaking, those work better than what we've got going on here in the West. So I probably should consider it. It's a hell of a lot cheaper for guys. I'll say that.
I mean, Violet is one of those. She's one of those kids that it's going to be hard to tie her down. She likes to go. But those arranged marriages always definitely seem more like they're working more.
I'll give it that one because from my ancestral lineage, a lot of cousins, and I don't mean distant cousins. I mean, when you go back into the small villages of where we trace our roots from, there's maybe 4 huts in that village. So there was a branch. Yeah, there was the family tree was.
It didn't fork.
Speaking of cousins, was it the same in Texas as like West Virginia, where you would marry a cousin, or was that?
Well, I was born in West Virginia, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Shout out to the Mountaineers. And then Brown and Root recruited my dad to Texas, and that's when. But funny enough, my dad's from Appalachia, which you know, Ryan, pretty well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my great grandmother didn't get electricity until like 1967, and you don't need to crack a history book to know that electricity had been around for a while. It was doing real good, but still had an outhouse. Zeddy.
Was that her name? Zeddy?
Zeddy.
I love that. I love some of the old names like Zeddy. Althea is a good one, like a nice old one.
I have an Aunt Zelda who's still alive.
Zelda?
The Legend of Zelda, but she was Zelda 50 years before Zelda was a thing.
Ahead of her time. Ahead of her
I
time.
feel
So
like
what?
if you got Zeddy on a college application, you just stop at the first name and just put it into the reject list. Zeddy Covington, that doesn't. We don't need that kind of pressure.
I'll take a Betty, but not a Zeddy. That's
She was
for sure.
she was getting turned down by community colleges.
What years were you in high school, Matt?
Late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, so bring us back like a day in the life of like a good high school day in the 80s and 90s, just to bring it into front view for kids these days that are living in a completely different world.
My sister, who's a few years older than me, I'll give you we went through a transitional period as a society.
Okay.
So my sister's early mid 80s. She's a couple years older than me, but in the on the school grounds they had a smoking square. You could smoke on school grounds when and this is in the 80s.
See,
when,
we talked about this last
you
week,
told-
and
you
I absolutely told we had a smokers corner, and Ryan looked at me like I was a
Yeah.
crazy person.
Yeah. Sorry.
And, and you could get a chew cup. Yeah, I know Ryan, you're a big fan of the chew cup.
I do I've switched over a little bit to the nicotine pouches. I'm
Oh,
Team
okay,
Rogue
yeah.
versus Team Zen. So if they want to pay us, $5,000 a month to
Yeah, we're looking for
sponsorship, just
sponsorships.
throwing that out there. But go ahead, continue with the day in the life. Yeah, I'll take it. Saudi Arabia, wherever. Go ahead. Okay.
And it was big hair, neon was in. You think of the Wham, George Michael, Boy George, Culture Club was one sector click. Then we had the Van Halen, White Snake.
That would be my crowd there. Yep.
Motley Crue, the long hair, which is weird. Like, I know we're on the trans movement now, but I think there was some androgyny going when I was going to school, between like the New Age and the rockers. There was definitely some bending of genders, traditional speaking. And then, the other side, jocks, nerds. And then, this is before nerds were cool, but now nerds are really, thanks to Elon and a couple other guys, right? They're doing well now. I'm glad to see the nerds are getting their comeuppance.
I would kill to be a nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember the movie Revenge of the Nerds? I mean, that was a pretty good one.
And I had the same amount of girlfriends that they had. There was no reason for me not to be a nerd. I was living that lifestyle, but just trying to be a jock and a funny guy.
Yeah. So were you playing sports kind of? For the high school. I mean, and band doesn't count. But go ahead. What were you doing?
I don't know if I played the sports as much as I was just a cheerleader in uniform. For context, in high school, I was 5'11", 175. Notre Dame wasn't knocking on my door.
Yeah.
I had that Rudy fight in me. And then my dad got sick my junior year, and then I just kind of spent time with him. And then my senior year, I had fun. So
what does that mean? Did you kind of just get into the drinking a little bit and all the partying, or?
I tried. I mean, nobody invited me to parties. I just showed up. People thought I was cool by association just because, like, oh, he's at all the parties. But no, I was just funny. I had cyst acne, a virgin. California coolers were the White Claw of the day back then. So
yes, oh my God, I totally forgot about those.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's a wine cooler.
It's a wine cooler.
I'm thinking Bartles and James. That's what I remember.
It was the sweet
Bartle
drink of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, think of it as a White Claw before White Claw, and then there was
like a pre-Zima maybe.
Around the same time.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what the girls were drinking. So, the guys, if you were trying to get a girlfriend, you'd go get a cup. They came in 2 liters. That's how classy we were back then. So we'd get a couple of 2-liters and go to the party and get the girls drunk for the good-looking guys. Good-looking guys loved us. They loved us.
They
were
loved you
sure.
because you got their girls drunk.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Matt's the best.
What kind of vehicles were cruising around back in that era?
I'm curious, what were your guys' first vehicles? I love this question on just on a social setting.
Coley?
Mine was a Mustang. And
Whoa.
before it sounds really cool, this is when Mustang from like 88 to like 95, when Mustang had this like box, like awful looking car. Yeah, that was my first car. Rear wheel drive. Yeah. One airbag.
My good friend Brian had one of that, and it was baby blue.
You're my boy, Blue. Mine was also a Mustang, interestingly enough. It was like so I got back. So I lived in Europe. You know this, Matt. From 96 to 97, I lived in Belgium. And then when I came back in 98, I got like a green Mustang. So it's probably like it wasn't the boxy one, though. It was like a little more slender, but still not as cool as the ones today.
Yeah.
So that was
my
mine.
mom actually had that in 86. She got and she should have got a 66 to be cool, but she always wanted a Mustang. We got a new one, but yeah, my first one was a 84 Honda Civic hatchback. So think of it like what's the car from Yugoslavia, the Yugo?
Yes.
Very, very compact. My mom loved it. It was birth control on wheels. No one having sex in that thing. And then, interestingly enough, my sister had a van and she had 2 kids pretty early in life out of wedlock. So maybe my mom learned from that lesson. Maybe the van wasn't the way to go. And so, the hatchback, that kept me going in her pristine eyes up until, and I joined the Army out of high school. So I gave that away to a neighbor kid. So
well, we appreciate your service. Sir.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I spent a lot of time on tennis courts in the Middle East, and really just sampling the local cuisine. Nah, it was fun. It was money for college. I don't have a huge ass eagle tattoo on my back with an American flag.
No, I saw your tattoo.
Yeah.
It's the butterfly.
Yeah, on the lower back.
The tramp stamp.
Yeah, he's got the butterfly. It's a masculine butterfly, but it's still a butterfly.
I forgot how that came about. Like, who was the first person to get the tramp stamp? And then all the girls were like, "That's what I'm doing."
Right?
Was it? Because I'm not a big fan of the strip clubs, but I've been to a couple, and they were doing pretty well in that cult, that clique. Like,
well, I feel like the women had the butterfly, and the dudes had like a barbed wire kind of on the arms a little bit, and maybe that was just coming from the
I didn't get a
sticks.
tattoo. So my first tattoo was when I was 45, when my dog died, and then
Emmett.
I thought that was Emmett. That's right.
I remember Emmett.
Yeah,
I remember
and
Emmett.
so he lived to be 20 years old. For a Cocker Spaniel, that's a long run. It's a long run for any dog. And then when I'd see all these people get these tattoos, I'm like, this is just Calvin and Hobbes peeing on something.
I remember that.
And I'm like, where are those at? I never see them out in the wild anymore, but I know every time I went to a college bar, there was 50 of them. But I'm trying to think of the other ones that were fraternity letters were big, and I was just like, I don't like you guys that much. I like 2 of you. I'm not going to ink up on that. I
like you because you throw parties that all the women come to, and I can come poach a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I got good looks after the
How would you consider? I know we have a lot of dating conversations. What was dating like before the internet, Matt?
Better. There's less competition. To be frank, I mean, like we talk about it now. 5s think they're 8s because 500 guys swipe on them. They get some endorphic release, and we all watch some of the same podcast clips, right? Where rate yourself on a 1 to 10, and the girl's obviously a 6. She's like 9, 10. You're like, oh, not even close. And but it was easier. You'd go out to events, and you'd go out to bars. People were still going out back then, and people are, a lot less. I think now if you offer to buy a girl a drink or something like that, she thinks you're a creep or you're gonna. But back then, people were just more laid back, more social. They didn't have the spidey senses going all the time. It's just more of a relaxed environment.
I think the other thing that sucks about dating in today's world is because you can be that ghost behind a computer screen, you can be as mean as you want to. You can tell somebody when they say that they're a 9, you're like, no, you're easily a 4 and you're fat. And you're like, why are you being so mean? Like, if you want to do that in the 80s, you had to go up and you had to be like eye to eye and be like, I don't like you.
And I feel like there was a lot of jumping on grenades with my, and for me, luckily for me, I like a different set of female parameters that I find attractive than my friends did. So we were never fighting over the same girl. It's like, I like the skinny one over there, and I'm like, well, which ones I like.
Yeah,
I'm going for it. I'm not even shy about it. That's for me, that was my game. I just
but now grenades are Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, exactly. This was before Jennifer Lopez. When she was still on the In Living Color Dancer. That's before she was J-Lo.
This is so bad, but did either of you play a game called Whaling?
As a matter of fact, I am legendary at the game. I netted a girl we have since nicknamed Orca. So here in the Northwest, I would say that they're killer whales. They're pretty prominent.
Because she likes the ocean. I would imagine that's probably why.
And even then, she was outside of my parameters. I was like, ooh, but I'm competitive. A game's a game. $20 is $20. The $20 you can tank and get a big gulp and a candy bar.
The white whale that you were looking for.
Yeah, Ahab.
Captain.
Well, in my neck of the woods, we'd sometimes call that hogging.
Yeah. But I feel like whaling's more apropos for play. But hogs are pretty big in Texas. So there's 400, 500-pound hogs, super hogs we call them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when she comes in, people are like, it's a super hog,
right? And think about now too. It's like people don't drink as much, so you don't get the euphoric. Awesome situation of beer goggles,
Oh, beer goggles.
Let's
be honest.
There was some virgin sacrifice to the altar of Fireball, probably 15 years ago. I had that going.
I think it was Rumpelmans, wasn't it? That was the
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bomb. I haven't had one of those in probably 25 years. But like when you say it, like it comes back in your back.
Right.
You're like, ugh.
But you always had that one friend who just liked Jaeger without the Red Bull, and you're like, dude. He's like, yeah, it's deer's blood.
Yeah. What was the rumor about Jaeger? Do you guys remember what it was? I think I
deer blood.
Remember. Deer blood. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what you were drinking?
No, probably. From it tasted like that. I've never had fresh deer blood, but it wasn't. If you like black licorice, you're gonna love Jaeger. It's gonna be fantastic for you.
Yeah, right.
I was a big fan of just a little bit of Captain, and then I don't think Captain Morgan's is much anymore, but I like to Captain and Coke. Yeah,
with the little lime wedge. I think when I was mixed drinking wasn't that big. We had like beer bars, and then you had like bar bars. So a lot of the college and young people were like beer bars. And then when you got maybe you pre-funked at one of the full bars, but you'd have like $5 pitchers. Now they're $5 beers.
Or you could come to Denver and they're $10 beers. So, or Seattle. I think you're kind of a little more remote area, but you go to Seattle and you get $10 beers too. So,
well, that's why I got cheap. That's why I stopped drinking. Not because not because of the Irish in me, because I walk by a beer aisle and like a 6-pack is like $12, $15, and I just I just can't bring myself to pay that for it.
I mean, back then we could get a case of Keystone Light or Beast for like under $10.
Yeah, 24 full case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this bar in Greeley that when I went to college it was 10-cent drinks.
Holy shit.
It was Keystone Light. But you could go and you could get hammered for $1, but then you would give them another $6 or $7 in tips. So for $8, you just got hammered.
Yeah, we had in the summer. I went to Washington State University, and there was a bar down there in the summer that would do 25-cent mixed drinks. So you would get like
dangerous.
3, give her $1. Or you maybe get 4 and you tip her $1. You know, that's 100% tip. You got no reason to complain.
I hear little Kenny Loggins playing on the Danger Zone on the jukebox as soon as you walk into that place.
Oh no! This is when we had when DJing started to become a thing. So the guy would have that. He'd look like a member of Al Qaeda with all the CDs and the coming in to the club with. And it was just like, they had a nice little system, but I don't know if you call it DJ when you just take a CD out, play a song, have another CD, just press play.
That takes a lot of skill, Matt. But perhaps the greatest thing, and you guys can say yes or no, but the greatest thing we ever accomplished as millennials was in the 90s when, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when we spread a rumor throughout every elementary school in the world, without the use of the internet or social media, that Marilyn Manson had his ribs removed so he could suck himself off.
No. That one didn't make it to the Northwest. There was a Marilyn Manson one, though. What's the other very popular? That he's an actor, or he's Marilyn Manson was something else before he was Marilyn Manson.
Oh, the Wonder Years.
Yeah. The Wonder Year guy. Yeah. I remember that rumor too.
I heard that one.
He was like,
no internet, no fact check. You just had to believe it or not. But
I remember hearing about the ribs removed, and it sounds painful, but sometimes you have to go through painful things for good things to happen.
Risk reward, right?
Yes, Matt, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah. Do you remember your last? I like this. Do you remember the last conversation you had on a payphone?
Do you?
I do now.
Or any conversation. Just I feel like since payphones are just a thing of the past.
It's etched in my memory because the precursor to that call was the other person on the other end of the line got a notification that this call was coming from King County Correctional Facility and it was being recorded. So I remember fondly my last payphone phone call.
Okay.
Different time.
That clicked in mine. Where do you remember when you would collect call, but you wouldn't actually talk to the person? So like if you needed someone to pick you up, you collect a call and you'd be like, first name Coley, last name I need to come get picked up right now.
Flip it over.
Or a good old 3-way call.
Oh yeah. Those are still big in correctional facilities.
Yeah.
Now I just get that from documentaries. That life is before me. But I do watch, like I do like watching the prison documentaries or the jail documentaries in like Atlanta or something like that, or Detroit. And you're like, I don't think that's a correctional facility. That's just a zoo. Like those are just animals in cages at that point. Like I've never had somebody steal my oatmeal, 1, in the morning, and then 2, plan a plot to revenge over prison oatmeal, where I'm going to get 5 years. I'm never doing 5 years for oatmeal. Yeah, that's a hot take. I get it. You put a marker on
and they weave in some unsolicited romantic activity towards the end of that too.
Maybe I tell my mom all the time when she asks about, my tour of duty in there, and I'm like, listen, a grizzly bear sees another grizzly bear or a raccoon, the grizzly bear is going to eat the raccoon, they're not going to go after the other grizzly bear. Like the fight, the payoff isn't worth it. So back then there was just smaller, effeminate guys that you didn't have to work as hard to get what you were going for.
So Matt, you wake up in 1992, no Wi-Fi, no cell phone. Tomorrow, what's the first thing that you do?
92.
Mm-hmm.
I take $1,000 and I invest it in my and then we never have this podcast.
Yeah.
You're and then all of a sudden but the counter to that is you end up on the Epstein files. So
I do this math in my head quite frequently. That just happened. A guy embezzled $15 million, state of Washington. He just got 3 years in prison. I will do the survivor. Dude, I would do 3 years in prison for $15 million, and I'll pay taxes on it. So I'll give you $5 back.
Are you talking white collar prison or federal pound me in the ass prison?
$15 million, you pick. I'm not choosy. I mean, you're going to have your good days and your bad days for $15 million, I think. But
do you remember where that quote came from? The federal, what movie?
No.
Office Space?
From Office Space.
Oh yeah. I was listening to a podcast with Paul Thaser. I don't know, man. Sounds pretty gay to me. The walls are so thin.
Yeah, we're going to need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday.
Yeah. I remember, did you guys, when you guys were in high school and different times, speaking of, that topic roughly aligned, but do you remember, how much would it take for you to, have sex with a guy or blow a guy? Did you guys ever have those bonfire, 6 beers in conversations? And the numbers were so just ungodly. You can go to Buc-ee's and get a blowjob for $5.
I was gonna say because the economy was booming, but right now it's like $20 is $20.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make eye contact. That's when it gets weird.
Right.
Oh Lord, yeah, those are some interesting bonfire conversations after a couple of Boone's Farms, and then you're just talking about
Calvary Hill. That was a big one.
Oh, did you have a pager by chance?
I did not. I went to school at an ag college in Eastern Washington, so cell phone coverage was not, or just coverage. So, there wasn't a lot of pagers. Some of the football players had them, but they were from LA. And then I think 96, 97 cell phones were becoming more, not Miami Vice, but
Zach
more,
Morris Saved by the Bell cell phones.
Yeah, the phone. So I think 97, and you only got 100 minutes a month back then, kids. It was crazy. And now they're spoiled with their unlimited data, text, and talk. And back then, to Colby's point is just I'm on my way. You just have 30-second phone call.
Or what if kids, the only game, everything got shut off technology-wise, but the only game they could play was Snake?
Yeah.
That was my favorite game.
Yeah, we had Frogger on, I think Sam's
Frogger too.
Frogger, something, just a 2-bit video game. But yeah, my son will watch movies. We just watched the Big Trouble in Little China. You guys ever seen that?
Kurt Russell classic right there. I always thought a good porn for a similar porn for that would be Big Trouble in Little Vagina.
Yeah, sure, it's been done. That's it. Speaking of, porn was different back then. You had to work for porn. There wasn't DVDs yet either. There was I don't know if you guys remember, there was Blockbuster in your town, but there was 2 or 3 little video stores,
mom and pop.
And in the back corner, they had a beaded curtain, and those must have been the loudest beads. You're just rumbling through, and then just a wide assortment. You know, they were like this big, like a foot. The boxes were like this, and you had to take the box to the front and be like, and you try to be like, oh, I'm going to watch a classic black and white Tale of Two Cities, and underneath it would be like a Tale of Big Titties, and like we know which one you're going to watch. Like, oh.
Dr. Naughty and the Night Nurses.
Yeah, you want to? I can put this in a bag. Yeah, why don't you do that? Good looking out. Good looking out, fam.
Yeah, yeah. We had a whole Blockbuster episode that we talked about in this nostalgia of Blockbuster, and we definitely mentioned we call them the saloon door rooms that you'd see. You'd see your friend's dad walk out and kind of act like he didn't know who you were when you're coming out with Debbie Does Dallas, or when he's coming out with Debbie Does Dallas. He's like, "Oh, hey, Tommy, yeah, good to see you. I gotta go now."
When I remember when you go into the store, like when I was growing up, I could buy my mom smoked back then. You could buy cigarettes as like a tin.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just no big deal. I was chewing in Texas back then, and they would easily give it to you. But then you would go in the back, and in the back of it, you have the the Playboy, the Penthouse, the Hustlers. I think We was one. Very fancy, very French, Ryan. I mean, and it went to like Playboy because it had some articles to like high society where you're like, that's where her baby came from. That's a up close of a birth. That's more biological textbook than I was like, ooh, Larry Flint, a big champion of the First Amendment.
Or you could just talk about before videos. You just had your creepy uncles, Playboys that had pages stuck together. That
well, believe it or not, there was a time where
Sears
some
catalog
had Playboys, and we'd go into the woods and we would hide them in the woods. So you had to track like a half mile just to see some boobies. But we all did it.
And then what about the in between time where you had like you didn't have HBO, but you could kind of see a few boobs through like the static?
Cinemax.
I will tell you right now, that Cinemax free weekend.
Best weekend of your life.
Let's Cinemax After Dark or something like that. Oh yeah, that was
silk stockings.
Listen, I'm more. It's like a prison break, right? You're just listening for the guard. Any movement in the house.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, "What, Matt? What are you doing in there?" "Mom, leave me alone."
And this isn't like when TV was on 24 hours. Like you had 3 channels. So if it was 2 a.m., you couldn't turn it to ESPN or the Food Network. It was nothing. It was static. Like, I couldn't sleep, so I wanted to listen to the American anthem. Oh, stay again. Big Patriot back then.
Standing ovation.
Yeah, exactly. But back then, I'll tell you, if I could go back in time to my 12-year-old self, I'm like, don't be embarrassed by that boner. There's going to come a day where you're going to have to take a pill. Just put that on blast. Go up to the whiteboard.
Speaking of that, I thought I took an Adderall pill today, but it was accidentally a Viagra. You guys want to see? You want to see what I'm talking about?
That's when I picked Cialis, and then
Ryan. That's our other podcast.
That's our other one. Sorry, Matt.
With failed porn stars. You're just a slut.
Or up and coming, we like to say, Matt. Up and coming.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
But you're 48. Like the MILFs in porn now are like 28. You're like, come on.
Right?
Come on.
I feel like the older women don't get as much love. And when I say, I'm 44, so it's like once you're over 40, it's like they don't want that.
Yeah, and I do I've pandered to that side of my id and gone to a little online dark places, but they go dark quick now. They're like, hey, stepmom and son. You're like, no, I know it's not real. These are just that, but in my mind, I'm like, no. Somebody in their head is thinking, yeah, this. I've been waiting for this. Like right. And you're like, what's sicko? What 3% of the population? And And then after that, I'm just done. I'm like, morally, I'm just like, I can't go back now.
I'm done with the internet today.
Yeah, exactly. Just too much, guys. I mean,
Morally
starting off-
bankrupt.
yeah.
Well, I feel like we've consumed a lot of your time here, Matt. We appreciate you coming on the podcast. Reminiscing about the good old days, because that's really what this is about. And anything else you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like looking at it, it's a different time, right? When we talk about levels of debauchery, it was an innocent time for sure. So thanks for taking me back.
Yeah. Well, and you can always find us at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the fuck else we have. X, not DMX, rest in peace. At Offline Daze, Daze, like Dazed and Confused. Pour out a little Diet Coke for them. Coley, anything else you want to say before we call today?
Yeah, well, don't forget about our Blockbuster refund contest, and if you we'll draw a winner once we hit 1,000 subscribers, where you get a $50 gift card, Visa gift card, so that you can pay your Blockbuster late fees and non-rewind fees for those of you that have accumulated, and you just have to follow us on social media, and you have to prove that you downloaded our episodes by just taking a screenshot and sending it in a DM. And we'll choose one winner once we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so there's the Blockbuster day.
Too enticing.
All right, guys. Well, hope everyone has a good day, and thanks again for joining us, King Cove.
All right. See you guys later.